Hello vac fans. Today we're going to have a whole house cleaning with my least expensive clean air machine, Hoover Tempo Widepath. And I got this machine in 2012. I've had it for about 5 years, totally reliable, works very well. And if I'm remembering right, it did the best in the sand in the carpet pickup test. So there's one thing I wanted to show you. You've already seen the brush roll, but take out 4 screws and this plate comes off and you have a really long belt. You have an insanely long belt, and this is a wood brush roll, by the way. It's not plastic. The bristles here, as I've already mentioned before, are very stiff and very long. These are very rough on carpet. If you have a delicate carpet, don't use this machine on it. It'll tear it up. So I wanted to show you one thing that happens to these machines. This belt goes from here way all the way to here, where that motor spindle is, way down there. That distance is probably a good 10 inches, and listen to this. You say, well, what's the significance of that? Well, that's an oscillation or a vibration that you will get even if you put a brand new belt on, and after about a month or two, when you transition from the carpet to bare floor, this will start to vibrate. It doesn't actually mean the belt's bad. It just means it's stretched out enough that that oscillation, that harmonic, begins to be audible. You can start to hear it. And maybe it's a way that some dealers try to get you to replace belts every 3 or 4 months. You don't need to. See, it uses a standard 160 belt. Very inexpensive. You can get them at grocery stores. Well, at least some anyway. But I've gone 2 years before changing this belt, using this on a semi-regular basis. And guess what? It works perfectly fine. No slippage whatsoever. So this is an absolutely fantastic brush roll for getting dirt out of the carpet, topical dirt, deep down dirt. And because this has 80 nozzle CFM, it's my highest airflow clean air machine. It even beats my Simplicity Symmetry and my Riccar 8850. And for a little over $70 last time I checked on Amazon, these things are incredible. You can get free shipping, and depending on whether or not Amazon has a warehouse in your state, you may even get it tax-free. Here's a more proper front view of the machine. You've got your height selector right here. Got your bag door, and this one is so inexpensive, doesn't even have a bag check indicator, but I think most of the new ones have this in their standard. You have a carry handle to help you carry this up. When I weighed this, on my scale it said 15 pounds, so this is even pretty light for a full 12 amp full power unit. So like I mentioned before, this is 80 CFM at the nozzle with the clean bag. That's very high. And on the side over here, I get 106 CFM if I separate this. Also measured from here, I get 80 inches of water lift. Plenty of suction to be sure. So here's a look at the back of the vacuum. I think the cord's right around 25 feet. It's a little short for my tastes. It's not bad though, especially for a machine so inexpensive. Here's a little dusting brush. More or less it's okay. And got a little crevice tool right here. It's not the longest thing in the world. And you also have not one, but 2 extension wands. We got 2 of them here. You put them together and they give you a fairly decent reach. However, this hose right here is the stretch it kind, and unfortunately when you stretch it and then you end up accidentally maybe blocking off the suction somehow, maybe it sucks up against something, this machine will fall over violently right toward the hose. It will probably pull the machine right on top of you because the machine is light and this thing has an awful lot of suction, so you got to be careful with that. And hidden behind the cord, almost forgot this guy here, you got a little upholstery tool. So it comes with full onboard tools. But I got to be perfectly honest with you here, having this for 5 years, because this thing wants to stretch a little bit, and if you make a mistake, this machine just smacks right into you. And if it doesn't smack into you, then it will literally fall over, and it will fall over violently. So I don't really use the tools a whole lot, but if I have to, and I do once in a while, I make sure I do not stretch the hose, because if I stretch the hose, it's going to try to pull it back in. So you can put lots of different bags in here. I choose to put in the higher end HEPA bag. I get them from Crucial.com, but I think now they're pretty much everywhere. And this is a large bag. Look at the size of that bag. You can really get a lot of dirt into that. You can see the bag compartment is completely clean after 5 years. You have another pre-motor filter right here. It really isn't much. It's almost like a little thin, kind of rough, spongy material. But look at that. There's nothing in there. I mean, maybe I change this once every couple of years, and I think you could rinse that out, to be honest with you. Just make sure it's 100% dry before you put it in. Post-motor filter, right here on the side. Right there on the side. Kind of slides up and down. And these aren't bad to get a hold of. You can see there's some carbon dust on there, and you can wash this, or it's very inexpensive to frankly go to the hardware store, get some vent filter material if you don't want to go and try to buy this, and then simply cut your own. It's not really a big deal. So you're fully filtered all over the place. But as you see, the side air vent from the motor, let's see if I can get a better view here. Right here, up and down, this blows out a lot of air. I think maybe 30 or even 40 CFM. A lot comes out of there. And also, it will heat up over time. So normally, it doesn't end up hitting you in the side of the leg when you're vacuuming, but sometimes it might. So when I first got this, it surprised me there was that much airflow coming out. It's clean air, it's fine, but there's just an awful lot coming out there. Oh, and the on-off switch, since this is the inexpensive model, is right there. It's got a spot that says, you were too cheap to buy the more expensive one, so I imagine this is where the on-off switch would have gone, but it's not there, it's down here. Hey, what do you want for about 70 bucks? Cool thing you can do with this machine, and as you've seen in a previous video, I take this little dusting brush off because it kind of falls off when the back scrapes the floor, is you can do 2 notches down with the foot pedal, and you can make this machine go completely flat so it goes totally under the bed. Pretty cool, huh? Because this machine is so lightweight, it's very easy to maneuver. It just glides across the carpet. You can feel that it has some suction, that it wants to suck down to the carpet, but it's not so much that it impedes your progress at all. You can't get under all furniture. You can get a little bit under the lowest, and you can get all the way under higher furniture like I just showed you with the bed. Okay, do I recommend using this with this kind of a doggy bed? No. So it'll shred it. Yeah, it's too rough for it. So you'll have to use something else, one of the accessory tools or something, if this is the only machine that you have. Show you just how powerful the exhaust is coming from that side. Watch this. It's really something. Normally it doesn't get in the way, but once in a while, if you happen to walk by on this side, it'll get you. It's not a big deal. It's just an awful lot of airflow you weren't expecting, but it's kind of fun. So here's a vacuum joke for you. What's the difference between Vac Lab and Joe Wheeler? I mean, you see places with a vacuum, right? And you see a bunch of carpet. And rooms in some cases kind of look empty, and you see somebody, pushing the vacuum. Well, the difference is he gets paid and I don't. our dog Rosie's decided to grace us with her presence. She knows my routine in the room I'm going to vacuum next. I guess I would be remiss if we didn't use the hose for a couple of things. So normally there's a couple of big computer fans in here, especially down there. That one ends up picking up a lot of, well, Rosie's dog hair. Kind of sticks out on the side and kind of clogs up the fan. So that's pretty violent. So I just do this. I get the dog hair off. Probably reverse spins the fan too, which is okay. Okay, got the upholstery tool here. You have to keep the vacuum kind of close. You really don't want to be stretching this tube so much. You know, it's not really too bad, but the only thing is, this hose is only about that long. So you can stretch it, but unfortunately, if you happen to block this up, this will contract, and you're going to get a big surprise. So you just got to be careful with it. We finished with the second floor, and now here goes the first floor. Okay, so before I forget, here's bare floor. When I do bare floors with this, because the brush roll is so stiff and so violent, if I have to do bare floors with this, I leave it here in the middle. I don't put it all the way down to bare floor because it can definitely scratch. I also don't do anything with these small mats, these rubber back mats, because it will pick it up and just chew them, and there's just no way. It's too powerful for these things. To show you the carpet lines, is about every 2 inches or so, and that corresponds to what we have here underneath the machine. There's one little blockage there. Whoops, we don't have enough light. I'm going to turn around here so we have enough light. There we go. So you've got a little blockage there, a little safety bar there, another one there, another one there. You got a big one right there, although it does have a little suction relief channel. I mean, right in here. And you can get a little edge cleaning. So you do really have edge to edge cleaning. This little line of shame I imagine that you would have there. But take a look at my other Hoover Tempo Widepath videos. You can see how well it does with different types of debris on different types of carpet surfaces. So it goes right over grates, no problem. Not every vacuum does that so easily. Nothing like popping a wheelie. I'm going to show you a little bit of the bare floor. So right now I have it set to medium. I'll run it on the bare floor and see if you can hear it not hitting the floor. Alright, now I'm going to put it down to bare floor and the bristles are definitely going to hit this linoleum. So, like I mentioned before, these bristles are too stiff to do on a delicate bare floor. If you've got something like concrete or your bare floor is considered to be very heavy duty and sturdy, then go ahead and use it on bare floor. But I run it just like this on medium, and it picks up all kinds of light dust and dirt just fine without the bristles smashing against the linoleum. cord where you normally don't want it. So here's the final grate. Alright, let's finish up on the couch. This time I'll use one of the extension wands for a brief period, along with the upholstery tool. Every so often, this little hose falls off here. It's got these two little tabs. You just got to twist it back on, but that's what it does. Okay, well, that's the general idea. And what can I say? I can't really recommend this Hoover Tempo Widepath enough. Some people say that it's ugly, some people don't like it because it's not bagless. There's all kinds of reasons, I suppose, not to like it. But one of them, or maybe two of them, is it really cleans very well, blowing away most vacuums, honestly, over 10 times its price. Seriously. I mean, you've got to go to like maybe an old Hoover convertible if you want to go old school, or you've got to go to like say a Kirby or a Royal or something like that. Even, now let's see, I got to pronounce it right, Tacony. There we go. I have to put the accent on the second syllable. So even Tacony's products at $1,000 have a hard time keeping up airflow wise to this little guy. And I think Hoover still has it listed new on their website. I think it's like $99 list price or something of that nature. Like I said, you can get it on Amazon super cheap. It's really wonderful. If you don't care about spending over $100 on a vacuum and you like a bagged vacuum, get one of these, don't abuse it, and you might get 10 years out of it. So think about it. Maybe $7 a year, and you could have yourself a vacuum that cleans carpet and some upholstery to some degree. See my little upholstery tool, I guess I wasn't putting it on hard enough. It was kind of popping off, so that's my fault really. That's not the vacuum's fault. So this thing works very well. Anyway, I hope you had a good time watching it. So until next time, bye-bye.